time to make your move. This is a collective reading for a group of people. These are energies that I tap into, but it's time to make your move. So this is the hangman, and I pulled it in reverse. That's why he's upright, because normally the hangman is upside down. He's trying to look for a different perspective, but I pulled it upright. And this almost never happens because I don't shuffle my cards in a way that makes them turn upside down, because I don't like reading upside down cards. It confuses me. But this one was upside down. So when you pull the hangman upside down, it can mean like it's time to go. Like you already got your perspective. You might not feel like you're 100% ready, but you don't have to be 100% ready. You can do it scared. You can be scared and you can do it anyway. Then, as I was taking my notes, because as I get these messages over days, I write them down and then I pull tarot before I start filming. And I was like, the number 3 and 4 are really important for this collective. And the hangman is a 12. So if you condense that down, that's 3. Then I pulled the empress, which is 3. And like we got 2 major arcanas back to back. Like the major arcanas are usually like the overarching theme for the spreads that I pull. And so empress, number 3, divine feminine energy. Don't worry about gender. This is about feminine energy. It's about birthing new ideas. So in my last video I was like, y'all need to make your art. So what the hangman is saying in reverse is that the time has come. You did your resting. It's time to go. And then the empress also tells us like birth that idea, bring it to life, make your music, make your art. It's time to go. And then remember how I said 3s and 4s are important? Boom, another 4. This is the 4 of swords. So like this dude has he's got his swords here. So he's got 4 swords. He's laying in a tomb. Don't worry, he is just like chilling. It kind of looks like he's, but the message here with this is that whatever battle you fought, it is not coming with you. Your new life is going to cost you your old life, and your new life is going to be a lot more peaceful, but you got to let go of that old life. And this is showing that 4 is stability, foundations. Some of you may be like the 4th in your family. You may be born on the 4th day of the month. I love the 4. It can mean stability, foundations. Think about the 4 corners. See how that's like sturdy, like a chair with 4 legs. North, south, east, and west. 4 can also be balance. But stability in your foundations, and whatever sad stuff happened to you in your past, you got to let it go. This person is at rest. They are at ease because they let go of their past and they're no longer fighting battles. Like that's the thing when you step into your new life. If you've always felt like you're at war with something, if you've always been in survival mode, then when you get to your new life, you don't have to do that anymore. But it's kind of like you were sprinting and then all of a sudden you stopped, and it's like whew, this air kind of passes you by and you're like, wait, am I safe? And if you've never really felt safe before, you can be like waiting on the other shoe to drop. You're like, oh, something's coming. No, you're good. Something good is coming. Something good is coming. And you're not supposed to brace for the good things. You're supposed to relax into that good thing. Because guess what I pulled next? Same card I pulled for y'all last week. The 8 of Wands. Like good stuff is coming. Good thoughts. Good ideas. You're supposed to be birthing your creativity. Going back to the Empress. Maybe it's time to do it fast. Okay? Okay, so that's just the tarot part. Now I'm going to get into the channeled message that I had written down in advance for y'all. Some of y'all are people pleasers, okay? If you're a people pleaser, I want you to know that you're people too. And you should be pleasing yourself, okay? Stop trying to lift other people up who only want to drag you down. Relationships should be reciprocal. And gender aside, like when I say masculine, feminine, I'm talking about energy. So one person gives, one person receives, and it goes back and forth. A lot of people, and I can put myself in this category, feminine energy, like that'll keep the masculine safe in the spiritual world, and then masculine energy can keep the feminine safe in the physical world. So, for example, if you identify as like a feminine and a healer, well, then you deserve to be protected by masculine. Healers deserve protection. Okay. When people feel safe, they can make their art. Okay? They can rest. All right. One of my favorite psychologists on Instagram, Dr. Martin, I think is Dr. Raquel Martin, she was talking about the difference between discomfort and danger. And because I'm always talking about exiting and leaving unhealthy relationships, I thought it would be a good idea for y'all, for me to talk about the difference between discomfort and danger. So danger, real harm, get yourself out of there. Like real harm to yourself. Discomfort is like annoying. And so, for example, if you are experiencing discomfort in your relationships, sometimes it can be an opportunity for growth, like listen better and then ask questions. You can ask yourself, like, is this a threat or is this just annoying? You can leave either way. You can leave either way. But if there's something there for you to learn, like lean into that. Like, do you need to be more direct in your communication? Do you need to say no more? Do you need to stop people pleasing? Do the people pleasing thing. It can be a trauma response. I know I used to do that. It was called fawning, and I had to cut that out. I don't do it anymore. So that is when you can decide, like, do I have to be super bubbly all the time, or can I just be myself? That goes back to like pleasing you and taking off the mask. Because humans signed up, y'all signed up to come to Earth. Earth is a school, and you signed up to feel a full range of emotions. So don't judge yourself for the emotions that you're feeling. I'm gonna tell y'all that like every time I do one of these videos. Here's also, going back to this, separate your past alarms from present danger. And that's another thing Dr. Martin talks about when she's talking about the difference between discomfort and danger. Like, when you are exiting your old life and you're in your new life is going to feel a lot safer. And if you're not used to that safety, it can feel weird and uncomfortable. So maybe it's just discomfort, and that's an opportunity for you to grow. All right. Oh, that's how you train your brain in a new way. You're like, oh, this doesn't need to be fight or flight. Like, I can just sit here a little bit longer. Maybe I don't love this conversation, but that can also be a filter. Like, do you want it in that relationship? Do you want annoying relationships? I don't. So I've ended relationships that weren't dangerous. They were just annoying. And I was like, I'm not meant to be annoyed. Like, do I love that person for who they are? Yes. Do they serve my highest good? Are they meant to come with me into my new life? No. And your guides will keep telling you that. Like, if a relationship is just constantly uncomfortable, maybe that's your sign that you need to end it and to get out of there. All right. Okay, so all of this, this can be like an internal dialogue that helps you assess the situation. It helps you assess your relationships. And you can decide, like, is this relationship for me? Is it expanding me? Do I understand myself better? Do I understand my environment better? That's also how you can alchemize. Like, if you want to end a relationship and you're tired of being sad about it, focus on what you learned, the skills and the tools that you gained from being in that relationship and from leaving that relationship. You're going to have a whole library of knowledge and wisdom at your disposal. Okay, in this collective, y'all are weavers, artists. Dang, there goes my ring light. Right when I said artists, my ring light went out. Musicians and investors. So these videos are for people who are going to find their soul contract. People are going to find their soul family. Like, if y'all get in the comments, y'all start chatting with each other, y'all are going to find some projects to co-create on. And part of my role as a channeler and as a siren is to pull all of that together into my orbit and let's co-create together. There are some people that I have soul contracts with that will find these videos. Y'all been called here if you haven't found them already. I think some of y'all have found them. And more are on the way. I love that for me. Okay. When you are in a spiritual ascension process, which if you found these videos, that's probably you. It can be helpful to listen to a diverse group of other spiritual people. So what I'm saying is, I don't need to be your only spirit guide. Go get a whole bunch of them. Because there are people that I have outgrown. Like there were these spiritual people that I was following like on YouTube and their podcasts and stuff. And I really resonated with what they said. Loved what they had to say. And then all of a sudden, ooh, they said something that I did not align with. And it was a deal breaker for me. So I had to move on. They were talking trash about spicy workers. And we don't do that here. We don't do that here. That's oppressive behavior. Not the workers. The people who are talking trash about spicy workers, they are oppressing spicy workers. And I don't tolerate that here. Okay. Let's talk about alchemizing. So, I mentioned these videos are for weavers, investors, artists, musicians, people who need to bring their gifts into fruition. Like the world is ready for your magic. It's ready for your music. Some of you are making playlists that are the tapestry of your life. That gave me chills. Some of y'all are making playlists that are so beautiful because that's how you express your emotions. Maybe you don't have anyone you can talk to, so you're making these playlists that are just, it's making my whole body light up. They're beautiful. Like that, I don't even have the vocabulary to describe it. Like it's beauty. It's art. And I bet people come to you anytime they're having a party and they're like, oh, hey, will you make us a playlist for this party? Like you're supposed to be making your own music. And maybe it starts out as a bunch of playlists that are like really long. Like 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, 2 hours is still long. But y'all are supposed to be making your own music, and like it's time. Now is the time. Stop waiting for the situation to be perfect and go make your art. Go make your music. Okay. This is a good segue. I am showing y'all how to alchemize, and like if you have anxiety, maybe that's because you're not doing your art and you're supposed to go do it. Okay? This is fast movement. Go make your art. When you do that, it's going to change how you feel. And when I notice that, like when I'm making like art that I'm supposed to be making, I'm a writer, when I write things that like really land, I'm alchemizing the anxiety I had around that project, because I'm like, oh, I did it, and it like wasn't that hard, and now I feel better. That's how you can get rid of your anxiety. That's alchemy. Also, you're activating dormant codes. Some of y'all, yes, this is giving me goosebumps. Some of y'all are creative masterminds. Some of y'all are, this is making my legs all tingly. Some of y'all are creative geniuses in music and art, and that ain't new. Like, y'all been doing it for lifetimes, for thousands, maybe millions of years. Y'all have been artists, and because you've been people-pleasing and wearing a mask and doing things for other people instead of yourself, you have neglected your art. That is where your anxiety is coming from. That could also be where your depression is coming from. And I mean, depression is no joke. Like, if y'all need to go see a healthcare professional, please do. But for me, like, I was in therapy for forever. I took all kinds of antidepressants. They didn't do anything for me. I took anti-anxiety medicine. All of it just made me numb so that I could get through a painful day. And then I was like, what if we just change the day? What if I start doing what I'm called to be doing? Then I expanded, and then, who's depression? She gone. And that can also feel like an emotional roller coaster. So there are going to be days when you make your art and you're like on top of the world, like you feel so great. And then there are going to be days when like you finished an art project and then you're like, now what? You're like, oh, I got it out of me, but like now what? Rest. Everything is a cycle. So there are days where you're going to make your art and you're going to be so inspired. And then there are going to be days when you finish your art, you launched the thing, and now you just need to rest and recalibrate. And that is a cycle. And as you're moving up like that, there can be people from your past that try to pull you down, because as your energy expands, people who were tethered to you like in an energetic way or even in a relationship way, they're going to feel that you're leaving, and they might try and pull you back down. And that's when you get to use your discernment and be like, are they coming with me into my new life, or do they need to stay in the past? Because you're going to have to let go of your past if you want to move on to your new life. I'm going to tell y'all that like every day. Okay. Some of y'all are frequency priests and frequency priestesses. I'm a frequency priestess. So that also goes back to me being a siren. I have a call. It resonates with people. It goes out into wherever, and the people that feel it, the people that resonate with it, find these videos. That's also how my human tuning fork. Some of y'all are frequency priests, and you're supposed to make music. Your music is like your temple. Your music is something that you feel in your body in the most visceral way. For some of y'all, music is how you connect to your higher self. My legs are tingling. Music is how you communicate with your soul. It's how you communicate with source, spirit, universe, God. I'm not religious, so when I say God, I mean all that is. I mean the universe. I mean source. I'm never saying God in like a Christian way or a religious way, because to me that's much too limited for my beliefs. And so if you like religion, that's fine. But God, source, universe, all that is. Some of y'all, the way you connect with that is through music. And that's why music is such an intense feeling. For some of y'all, music is medicine and it's healing. And y'all need to share that gift with the world. And here's a segue story to that. I have someone that I am in a soul contract with, and I have not seen them, spoken to them in 20 years, but we find each other lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. And there was this one lifetime we had together where we didn't have a form. So a form is a body. So in this one lifetime, me and this person that I'm in a soul contract with, we were just frequencies. We were energies, we were frequency, no form, no body. And when we linked up, we created a harmonic. And that harmonic healed my underwater temple. So in this life, me and that person are meant to do more cool stuff together. We're meant to collaborate. We're meant to build empires together. My empire, as I build it, it pulls them up. So when I say I'm activating dormant codes in leadership and freedom and sovereignty and co-creation, that's what I'm talking about. Again, y'all are going to find people that you want to co-create with. Answer that call. It might not be super easy at first if it's new. If you're not used to co-collaborating with other people, you might not be sure how to reach out with an offering. Because soul contracts are divinely orchestrated. So if you're going to be approaching someone that you have a divine connection with, bring them an offering. So sit with that. That's also the fear of the unknown. A lot of people are afraid of the unknown. I get it, but I've lived there for so long that it just is what it is. On some days, the unknown is my best friend, and on some days, the unknown makes me cry because I get really scared because I don't know what is next. And what my spirit guides kept telling me, and what I want to tell y'all, is some of you are doing something that's never been done before. And that's why it's so scary. That's why other people's advice doesn't work for you. If people are saying, follow my blueprint, follow this, follow that, these are approved blueprints. I just hear that word a lot. It's their blueprint. It worked for them. But in my experience, other people's blueprints do not work for me. And that is because I'm here to do something that's never been done before. And that is the unknown. And that is scary. And a lot of y'all that are finding these videos, that's going to resonate with you because what you're doing is so different. The art that you're going to make, this world's never seen before. Oops, my screen just went out. And the music that some of you are going to be making, it is going to, I said this I think in my last video, it's going to be so hauntingly beautiful that it will be studied. And that's why I'm like, y'all need to quit waiting and answer that call. All right. If you feel like you're in trouble right now, you're not. I'm really direct and passionate, and for some people, they can get intimidated or scared. People are always telling me that they're scared of me, and I'm just like, whatever. Okay, moving on. Okay, some of y'all are acting like a version of you that is not the real you. And when you take off that mask, you're going to meet the real you. And that is the unknown. And that can scare you. And you can be like, who am I? You get to figure that out. You get to meet yourself. You get to meet the real you for the first time. I remember the first time I was in a therapy session with Dr. Sarah and I didn't feel depressed. I was like, Dr. Sarah, I was like, I don't know what I'm feeling. It's a good feeling and it's almost annoying because there's like a lot of it. And I said, I don't know what to call it. And Dr. Sarah said, it's called happiness. That one sent me. I was like, oh, this is that thing people are always chasing. This is what people are talking about. I was like, oh, this is good. Happiness, yeah. Now I understand why people want this. This feels great. So I also remember her saying, when I was like, I don't know who I am with this feeling. And she said, Jessica, I want you to meet Jessica. This is the real you. She's happy. And I was like, wow. I was like, am I still, at that point, it's like the art I had been making had been so sad. And I was like, am I still going to be able to write and make art if I'm not depressed? And she's like, I don't know. What do you think? And I was like, let's find out. And guess what? It got better. My writing got better. The better I feel, the happier I am. Even if I'm just neutral, my art is still way better than the art I made when I was depressed. And I'm not saying you can't make your art when you're depressed. Like, that can be a muse. That can be where it starts. But you're going to move past that. And your art's going to get even better. For me, depression was like a weight, like a really heavy weight. And then once I let go of that and I got lighter, you like ascend energetically and art gets better. So if that's something you're worried about, I just want you to know that's something you're gonna have to let go of in your new life. And if it's messy, that's okay. It's not gonna be perfect. The first song you make is not gonna be perfect. The first draft is just a first draft. You can still share it. A manuscript that you send to like a publisher or whatever, that's going to get edited. That's okay. Find people that you want to collaborate with and be like, this is my starting point. This first draft is my proposal. This first draft is an offering. It's a gift. It's still those things. And editing it is just part of the process. So a lot of musicians say this. I've heard Queen Herbie say this. I've heard other rappers say this. They're like, your mess can be your message. Like, nothing has to be perfect. If you want to guide someone to do something, you just need to be a few steps ahead of them. You know, like, I talk about family estrangement a lot because when I went no contact with my family, I didn't know anybody that had ever done that. And I learned a lot. And I just think that those stories are worth sharing. Like, people need to hear your stories. Social media is a gift. You can hear people's stories when you're running errands. You can learn tools about from hearing how other people went through something while you're doing the dishes. So when I say social media is a gift, your mess can be your message. Put it out there. See who resonates with it. And the universe keeps receipts. when you are living like in your divine truth, you following your divine blueprint, because everyone's got their own blueprint, you get paid for that in return in other ways. And if it doesn't start out tangible, or like if people aren't constantly paying you like, oh, you wrote a song, here's a check, like it doesn't always work like that. And that can cause people to be like, oh my gosh, like when is it coming? And that is something you got to let go of. I'm so sorry. I don't like the way time moves on earth, and that is something I'm learning to let go of. So what you might notice is that when you start putting out your art, maybe you find co-collaborators who light you up. Maybe you find more people that resonate with you. That's just going to bring everything up. And then eventually, at some point, money is going to find you and you'll start making money on your art. Okay. Let's see what else we need to cover. Oh, also, I want to talk more about like the number 3 and the number 4. So everything that y'all are going through is a journey. The unknown is part of that journey. And as you get further along in your journey and you start making your art and your mess becomes your message, you will realize you're safe. You're safe to say what you want. You're safe to create what you want. Like fear is holding a lot of y'all back from feelings of abundance and love. And that's okay. That is a cycle. And when you acknowledge it and you name it, you break the cycle. And so now you get to decide, well, what do I want to do next? And the journey's not always fun, y'all. It's not. One thing I really don't like is when other people who are like spiritual gurus, like, oh, you just have to feel good your way into everything. You also have to build this bitch from the ground up. And like, that's not always going to feel good. And so as long as you know that like it's a journey and that everything is a cycle, everything has its season and seasons are always going to change, that can kind of be like your light, you know? So some of y'all, switching topics here, some of y'all have created generational wealth already. Good on you. Love that for you. That could be your escape hatch. So maybe y'all were waiting on until you made a certain amount of money to start. This is your sign. You did it. Start. Go. Let's go. The universe is saying, let's go. You got your stable foundation. You got your stable financial foundation. Your career is stable. And now, like, you have the 4, the stability, the foundation, the generational wealth. Go make your art. And as you co-create and make your art with other people, use that generational wealth to help advance other people in your collective, in your community, because some of you created generational wealth in families that oppress society and humanity. And if you want to alchemize that oppression, use that generational wealth to help other people make their art. That's legacy, okay? Healers need protectors, okay? An investor can be a protector. All right, next. This I think we already kind of covered, but like this goes along with what I just said. When you're preparing to meet someone that you have a soul contract with, bring them an offering. Soul contracts are divinely orchestrated. Bringing an offering just shows them that like, I'm ready and I take this seriously and I value you, and I say that with my words, and now I'm saying that with physical, tangible offerings, because people's words and their actions need to match. For me, if someone just says, oh, I'm sorry I did you that way, I'm like, I take apologies in cash. I have an apology fee. People have paid my apology fee multiple times because words ain't enough for me. I'm 41 years old, and when you get to your F at 40s, you're like, prove it. You say you want to do all these lovely things for me. Prove it. Where's my offering? That's how I function. And I get what I ask for. And if someone cannot give me what I deserve, they gone. It's that simple. And when you get to a place like that, that's how you alchemize the past. That's how you let go of the past. My standards are so incredibly high that my inner circle right now is small, but I'm also building an empire. And when you're following your divine blueprint and you're following the nudges of the universe and you're being divinely guided by your spirit and your galactic allies, you will be on a higher path. And not everyone can breathe at your altitude, and that is by design. Okay? Those are divine filters that are meant for other people to see themselves out. This is a lot longer than my other videos, so let's see. Okay, I got 2 more pages of notes left that I wanted to share with y'all. All right, we're meant to co-create with greatness and with people that we have soul contracts with. So, story time. Oh, we already did this story. Okay, I was just going. We already did that story time. Okay, that was the one about the frequencies. We may have just covered all of this. Okay, we talked about the number 4, stability and foundations. Number 3, the number, when I think of 3, I think of collaboration, collective, co-create. Oh, and this last thing, okay, as y'all are on this journey, you're going to start noticing weird things changing, and I want you to pay attention to that. Some people say, oh, I'm in the science camp when it comes to like science versus magic, and here's what I want you to know. There's no gap between science and magic. There's just a lag in consciousness. Science is trying to catch up with spirituality. Spirituality is older than science. I see people on LinkedIn all the time thinking they ate when they're like, I don't believe in magic or superstition. I only believe in science. And I'm like, that's limited. So, again, I don't think that there's a gap between science and spirituality. I just think that there's a lag in consciousness. Also, technology is the conduit to the spirit world. It just is, because everything is energy. So those are just some fun little one-liners that I want to leave you with that can just roll around in your mind as you have a day. Just have a day.